coming up on Every Single Muscle.
Oh, yes. What were these called? I owned them as a kid. What were they? This is a bootleg Dino Rider from Mexico.
Hey, I'm here with a legend of the online Battle Beast community.
A legend.
It's Killer Carp.
I kept ending up back at the booth for the Secret Toy Society, and I wanted to know, what does someone who runs a booth like this buy for themselves at a toy show? What's up, Internet? Every Single Muscle here, back with part 2 of my Toy Depot Geekin' Out toy hunt. If you missed part 1, there's a link down below, or maybe I'll pop one up here. But just as a reminder, I walked out of Geekin' Out the first time with a pile of really great vintage stuff. But in this video, I go back in for more. And I didn't know it at first, but today I would be part of one of the greatest trades in toy convention history. So much so that I had to bring in an expert analyst to come talk with me about it. We'll get to that eventually. But for now, let's go get some toys.
I wish.
As you can see, there was still plenty more stuff to geek out over, but I didn't wait long before making a beeline for something I let get away the first time around. The Gremlins lunchbox is a beautiful sight to behold. It features really stellar artwork of Gizmo and Stripe and all the other Gremlins and Mogwai. It's got Gizmo driving his convertible on the other side of it. Just an amazing piece. I'm not a collector of lunchboxes, but I made an exception for this one. This gorgeous piece of tin belongs on my toy shelf. I just gotta figure out where.
What are these not street trucks? These aren't street trucks.
Ocean Warriors, they're from Italy.
Wow.
Italian Chaos.
Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm Doc from Das Creales. Good to see you. We travel all around the world, and so in one of our hunts, we found this furniture maker. And it's like, hey, have you ever thought of making backpacks? And they're all from Colombia, hot made. They take about a long time to make. And then these bad boys are from Central America. So every single one of them is handmade. None of them are the same. This is too.
Oh, I just kind of assumed these were Killer Tomatoes.
They are, but they never make Killer Tomato devils.
Right.
So these are all photos of them.
Wow. Lots of Keshis in here. Some non-muscle sculpts. Some good stuff. Not for me today.
Okay, look, I'll be the first to admit, at a glance, these aren't anything special. But if you know me, you know I'm a sucker for anything muscle scale. And for just $2, I couldn't help but snatch up this little rainbow of astronauts.
Oh, yes. What were these called? I owned them as a kid. What were they? Look at that. Unreal. Just the grails I will never own. This is a bootleg Dino Rider from Mexico. It doesn't weigh anything at all. It's that kind of bootleg.
Not long after that, I stumbled onto a glorious dollar bin and plucked out a selection of goodies. Starting with this vintage E.T. miniature, it's a perfect likeness of our little alien friend. It's made of a hard plastic and is circa 1982. And for just, I think it was another $2, pretty good score. What's next? How about these Soma robots? If you're not familiar with Soma, they made a ton of super cheap dollar store toys throughout the 80s and 90s. You might even recognize this character, Sonic Ranger or Sonic Man or Super Patrol. He went by a lot of names and popped up all over the place in various toy forms, but my favorite Soma merch has got to be the chubby little rubber miniatures, of course. These two robot warriors join a few others in my collection, but aside from robots, Soma also made ninjas, pirates, wrestlers, cowboys and Indians, karate fighters, and my favorite, the absolutely cursed Soma love dinos. Back to the minis, here we have 3 DC Comics Wendy's blind box figures. Batman, Robin, and Harley Quinn from Series 2. These came out just a few months ago, and I actually covered them in a short a little while back, so if you want to learn more about these, I'll link to that in the show notes below. But I'll just say this. I'm actually still on the hunt for sets 3 and 5, and I've got a few spares to trade, so if anyone out there wants to, hit me up. Okay, we're up to the last mini of that batch. This one is a muscle vending machine bootleg. How can you tell? Well, for starters, there's that carelessly slapped on green paint. It's also made of a much more flexible, almost squishy rubber, and of course, it doesn't have any of the original YSNT markings. Instead, it's just got this China stamp on the back. Truth be told though, bootleg muscles are just as, if not more desirable than muscles for many collectors. They're weird and dumb, and they keep things interesting. It also turns out that I actually have this guy already, but the one I have has this pre-punched hole in his hand, which I think gives him the edge over this new one. So, sorry dude, you're getting tossed in the trade pile. Hey, if you're watching, do the Voltron Robeast a favor and click like, subscribe, comment, do all that kind of stuff. That would really help with the algorithm and whatnot. All right, thanks, bye. Okay, I've left you waiting long enough. It's time to answer the question you've all been asking. What's the deal with this insane toy trade? But before we get into it, here's a little recap from last time. Previously on every single muscle.
That's the blue Jaded Jag, baby.
Yeah, I'm asking 65 on it, which is a pretty good deal.
That is a good deal.
Do you need them? I can do a better deal for you.
I got to do the round still.
It was good meeting you, man.
Yeah, dude,
I
thanks.
follow you and...
Dude, appreciate
stuff,
it.
so.
I really appreciate that.
So a little while after that moment, JJ from Nevermind Toys and I got to chatting again. He made me another offer. Because I'm the every single muscle guy, he said he'd be willing to trade me that blue Jag for some muscle. Of course, I didn't have any on me, but... Also previously on every single muscle.
How much for this box?
Just the box? 20 bucks on it?
I'm going to do that, for sure.
Just dump out
Dump the guys.
yeah, dump the muscles.
You see where I'm going with this, right?
Okay, so it looks like I'm actually pulling off a trade. This blue Jaded Jag is coming home with me in exchange for all these muscles that I just bought for this very purpose. So here we go. I'm gonna trade these off. Amazing.
Trade me back my muscles.
Truly, truly amazing. And I will exchange for that. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
This is a special thing that happened today.
Not gonna lie, you guys, I was on cloud 9. I felt like I had pulled off the ultimate Ocean's 11 style bank heist. I'd passed over the muscles earlier that day, left them sitting. Then, bam, the cat's meow walked in. A rare battle beast I'd been chasing for years. A trade offer hit the table. So I circled back, scooped up the muscles I'd passed on, and made the handoff. Just like that, the deal was done. And in the end, I walked away with the crown jewel, a rare sapphire, the blue Jaded Jag.
That is the sexiest thing I have ever seen.
But there's one more wrinkle to this story.
I'm gonna trade these off. Amazing.
Trade me back my muscles.
Did you hear that? The figures that I traded for the Jaded Jaguar were originally his own muscles.
No way!
Earlier in the week, he had sold them to the Secret Toy Society and immediately regretted it, and then I bought those muscles and traded them right back to him. And so this moment didn't just land me a rare battle beast, it restored balance to the entire toy universe. So now let's talk about the blue Jaded Jaguar. There's so much to say about this figure that I've decided to bring in another expert for a proper scholarly examination.
Okay, I'm here with a legend of the online Battle Beast community.
A legend.
A legend. A guy who helped many people complete their Battle Beast collections, myself included, and a guy who runs the yearly Beast Madness tournament, which I've been frequenting since day one. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Killer Carp. Hey,
Hello, everybody.
what's up, dude? I know we could talk Battle Beast for hours, but we're here today to discuss something specific and very important: the
Yes,
Blue Jaded Jag. What do you got for us, Carb? What do you got?
I've got blue jaded jaguars, plural here for you.
So, for anybody who's not familiar with Battle Beasts, the Jaded Jag is typically a red Battle Beast with red maroonish armor, and so this is the variant figure that is much less common.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure why they decided to create that variant. Some have different production runs where the flesh is a slightly different color, like the pink crab or the pink weasel. You know, there's changes in the mold, like the round tail rabbit. But the jaguar is the only one where someone decided we're going to make a blue one. They didn't do this for any other beast. He's always been a little more desirable. Price tag's always been a little higher. But I have a theory as to why this price has skyrocketed into $100, $130, $140. People are asking double what they were asking a year ago. I believe that I started this Jaded Jag price inflation
Really?
single-handedly. About a year ago, early June of 2024, this eBay listing comes up for Battle Beasts that belonged to a former Hasbro employee. This woman was the production manager for Battle Beasts and for G.I. Joe in the mid 80s. And they sent her to Japan to deal with the Takara people when they were trying to acquire the licensing rights to bring them to the US market. And she took back home with her a bunch of pre-production samples. And anyways, I was one of the people who bid on this collection. And one of the beasts that I acquired that night was this blue jaguar. The main difference is that here, if you see on the bezel of this spear, you can see the number, right? Whereas on this beast, the spear is clean with no markings. So this leads me to believe that this was a very early sample that was used in pre-production. So this at auction went for $130. And then that became the new market value.
So
Not
you are
knowing
responsible for the inflation of the Blue Jaded Jag's price, what you're saying.
In theory, yes. So just lower the price, people. You don't have a pre-production prototype here. You have a $65 to $70 Battle Beast. But I don't foresee the market for Blue Jaded Jags ever coming back down. We'll see if there's a market
hopefully this
correction,
helps
but
out. Hopefully
maybe this can
you're
correct the
clearing
market.
everything up. You're clearing it all up. So listen, this has been great, but I'm actually in the middle of a toy hunt right now, so
Oh, I'm sorry. Didn't mean to interject. By all means, don't let me take you from the hunt.
We thought of you, but I think you want to lose, huh?
I need to lose. Yeah, I'm not the guy to crack this open. No,
Not with artwork like that.
no way.
Listen, it can't be overstated enough. At Geekin' Out, there's really great stuff everywhere you look. But ultimately, I kept ending up back at the booth for the Secret Toy Society. They just had too many astounding things to look at, and I wanted to know, what does someone who runs a booth like this buy for themselves at a toy show?
This is a 1988 Makori horror straight out of Japan. So still on card, one of the rarest horror toy lines. There's 4 in the set. So I'm on my way. I have these 3. I'm on my way to completing the set. I'm just looking for him. Weird monster shit.
The weird stuff, the best stuff.
The weird stuff is the best stuff. Some other weird stuff.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
What are these guys? I've seen these before, but I don't know anything about them.
So these are some monster men. So there's 5 in a set. They're kind of a knockoff of Inhumanoids, but absolutely beautiful. I've got 4 of them. I'm missing just 1 more for the complete set.
Dude, so cool.
So cool.
And you got those all this weekend
Yep, got them here.
at this show.
Geeking out, baby.
I love obscure weird toys, and I also love talking to people who also love obscure weird toys. And that's why I just had to buy one more thing from Cody at the Secret Toy Society. This disturbing little guy right here. This is a horror ball, one of many Mad Balls knockoff lines. I actually saw the same ball a few shows back at the Ventura County Toy Show and kind of regretted not picking it up then. So here it is in all its rubber glory. I've got a few other Mad Balls things around, but this feels like my first big step into the world of Mad Balls. Let's hope it doesn't become a problem. Update, it's become a problem. Holy crap, what an insane collection of stuff, including a Playskool caveman that I think needs to be a larger conversation in some future video, but wow, I am astounded at the amazing stuff I found here today, especially over the course of both videos. When you look at it all together, it's absolute toy madness. And would you believe the following weekend, I went to another toy show. Stick around for that and for more every single muscle.